Yeah, I hear you.
Uh,
All right, what's up, y'all? All right, so I got my boy with me today. Another kid that I've known for quite a bit of time, pretty much my whole time that I was in Huntsville. I've gotten to see him, play and develop. This young man is not probably, he is the best wide receiver in the state of Alabama to me. And I think that a lot of people will agree. But I have Ty Doughty with me today. We've interviewed before. We talked about kind of your process before, but some stuff has changed since then. I think that was almost 2 years ago now that we interviewed before.
it was.
So how you been, man?
I've been good. Everything's been good. Just blessed. Just trying to. You're right. For Mercer, I leave in about 2 weeks. So
In
just
two
trying to get
weeks?
ready. Yeah.
You going out there for camps or where y'all going down there for?
Like I'll be down there like practices and stuff will start in around 2 weeks. We start
Okay.
lifting and stuff, going over the playbook OTAs.
Okay. Mercer. He
Yeah.
won. I told y'all he's nothing to play with, man. Nothing to play with. All right, so let's start at the beginning. So for everybody that doesn't know you, I know a lot of people in the area, of course, know who you are. But people here in Atlanta, for those that may not know your story,
Mm.
let's start at the beginning. When you first started playing football, how old were you when that happened?
I think I was like 5, 6, honestly. I started off with Athens football, and then as I grew up, my dad coached Madison Academy, so I played with Madison Academy throughout my little league, throughout the whole little league. And then middle school came. At Madison Academy, I was running back. Middle school came, they switched me to receiver, and
Okay.
played receiver my whole middle school career. In the freshman year, he called me at the end of my eighth grade season. And he was like, he wanted me to move to safety, play varsity safety. So freshman
Yeah.
year, I moved to safety. I got in some varsity games when we was up, but I wasn't starting or anything. So my sophomore year, yeah, he had he had talked to the coaches like we need to move him back to receivers. So sophomore year, moved back to receiver. Had a good season. Junior year, had a good season. This past season was a good season
Yeah.
at receiver, so I was blessed.
I remember when you got in. I think it was against Sparkman. You had a catch against Sparkman that a lot
You
of
talking
people were
about
talking about.
you talking about my sophomore year?
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Was that the catch that kind of put you on the map?
I say so. That was like my first bigger game. Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that. I was like, man. I was like, see, now he's arriving.
yeah,
So did you play any other sports besides football when you were coming up?
yeah. I played baseball, basketball, soccer, and then in high school I did track.
So do you think they helped with like your coordination, so like that, playing all those different sports?
Yeah, definitely. And I think when I was like real little, I was even in gymnastics for a little bit, which is like kind of crazy, but it definitely helped me with like my coordination and stuff.
And I'm sure that helped with flexibility too,
Yeah, yeah.
gymnastics. So you get in high school. When did you start kind of getting into the recruitment aspect of football?
I'd say like eighth grade year, I started going to camps and stuff like that. But when coaches really started talking to me was after my sophomore year. Coaches was like inviting me to camps and everything like that. Until the very end of my recruitment process, and I ended up flipping at the last minute.
So do you think when you first started kind of getting that earlier on recruitment, did you know early that you were going to go to college, or was there any doubt in your mind, like I don't know if I'm going to go, I don't know if my height or my size or anything's going to be a factor? Did you ever have those moments?
I mean, I knew from the beginning I wanted to play college football. The height and like size aspect always did kind of hinder me a little bit, but
Yeah.
I knew that was always the goal, playing college football.
So how did you overcome that? Because you can't do anything about height. It's height is
Yeah,
what it is. So how did you kind of overcome that? Because you're still, a lot of people say if you have your size and your height, E1 is going to be a little bit harder.
yeah,
So they
yeah.
start looking at other opportunities. How did you kind of overcome that aspect?
I mean, you got to do all the little things right. If you don't got like the height aspect, you got to run good routes, make plays when the ball's in your hands. And luckily, God blessed me with the ability to be able to do that. And so I feel like I did that well, and that was a big selling point for me when I
Yeah.
was talking to coaches and things like that.
So you think your off field work, the weight room, all the training that you do, you think that plays a factor as well?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah, any if you go on D1, like all D1 players, you gotta have a certain work ethic about you. You gotta be like something you really want to do.
Yeah.
Of course, there's the freaks and anomalies, but really, you gotta work. You really gotta work.
So did you sacrifice a lot? Was there a lot of things that you had to sacrifice in order to, put those hours in?
Mm,
I seen you all the time. I see you was at the field. You're always doing something football related. And
mm.
then those spare moments that you did have, I was hitting you up like, come get on the Vertimax. So
Yeah,
like,
Yeah.
Was there a lot of sacrifice, for you to, get to this point?
Yeah, it was definitely like, you just can't go out every night, things like that. But when you have a good group of people around you,
Yeah,
us, Taylor, Dylan, people we was working with back in the day, we was on the Max. When you have those people to push you, it's a lot easier. And it makes it fun too. So I'm super glad to have people like that around me.
absolutely. I'm glad you said that. That goes into, because as an adult, we tell y'all all the time, watch who you hang around,
Yeah,
watch who's around you. And I think a lot of times kids think we're just talking about the obvious thing. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Don't hang around somebody that has a gun, or don't hang around somebody that does drugs. But you can have people in your life that aren't necessarily bad, but they just don't have the work ethic that you have. And
exactly.
so,
Yeah,
you're trying to go get some work in, but your homeboy's like, nah, let's go to McDonald's, or let's
yeah, yeah.
go, such is over here. So having that circle around you, in the group you have, they all are trying to do the same thing. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah, you definitely
So,
got to keep like-minded people around you for
yeah.
sure.
Birds of a feather flock together is what they say. So,
Exactly.
so if one is flying, you got to have other people that have wings as well. So you commit to Air Force at first. And that's a big splash. Everybody's talking about it. What makes you decide to go with Mercer?
So I mean, I like everything about Air Force. This Colorado Springs, it was super pretty. Coaching staff, love Coach Tim. It was really just like the service aspect that kind of like deterred me away from it. So I want to end up going to medical school. So like we was just hearing stories of people like not being able to go to medical school directly after undergrad of serving Germany.
Right.
They'll get deployed somewhere. So like that was kind of the turning point for me. Mercer had been there the whole time. I love their coaching staff. I love them. They just got a new coaching staff last year. You
Yeah.
know, so like just even through that time, me and the receiver coach takes all the time. We got really close. I love the staff and the type of program they're building. They're really good people and they're guiding people with supportive messing with players. I love the facilities, campus. That's really went into my decision.
So was that decision hard for you? Or was there a lot of thought that went into making that decision?
Yeah, I prayed on it for a while. It's easily the hardest decision like I've ever. And like you hear people talking about that, like yeah, college can be like that's where real problems come up. Like when I really
Yeah.
have to like decide. Yeah, that was definitely a hard decision. I was talking about it with my parents for weeks.
I mean, college is definitely is where you become a man. When
Yeah,
you get done with college, you'll be 22, 23.
yeah,
Come done with undergrad, so you're a young man at that point. So where you go, it matters. So
yeah,
that's gonna be the first time you're without your parents. So your coaching staff is gonna matter because for the first, I say first. Honestly, I'll tell you this. I'll say for the whole experience, your whole undergrad career, your coaches are like your parents at college. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
They're the people that you go to when you need. And I say take advantage of that.
yeah,
Don't think that you're too grown to ask for help. Don't think you're too grown to talk to those coaches. Let them know who you are because the more they invest in you, the further you're gonna go.
yeah,
Because once it's time for combines, I know you want to go to medical school, but if the combine comes around
for
and you
sure.
excel in it, what I'm saying? That's an opportunity right there as well. And that comes when your coaches are constantly putting your name out there. You
Yeah.
know,
Mhm.
so that's good that you prayed about it. Your parents were involved in the decision. So you went down to Mercer. What made you fall in love with Mercer itself? Like when you were kind of going back and forth. I know the aspect of serving was a con for you. So what made Mercer the decision instead of other schools? 'Cause I know you had other schools as well.
Sanford. So you want to like go somewhere that's like kind of all in with you, and sometimes I didn't get those vibes from Sanford. That I still love. I'm still super grateful for the opportunity it gave me, but I
Yeah,
feel like Mercer just from a like we want you aspect. I feel like they kind of wanted me the most, and that's kind of important to me. Just that mutual kind of want for each other. That was a big thing for me. Mercer also has a medical school, so
right.
that was a pro for me. And like I said, like just the relationship that me and the coaching staff built, it was something that I really enjoyed. That was a big stepping stone to put me on why I chose them. Exactly, yeah.
Right. You're gonna need everybody you can possibly have in your corner, just like in high school. You know what I'm saying? Every person that can come along and move you in a positive direction, you know, you're gonna need those people. You know, this will be a time where you gotta get up on your own. You know, you gotta do everything for yourself. Your professors aren't gonna be on top of your head about coming to class and stuff, so you gotta make those decisions for yourself. So you're gonna want people to hold you accountable. That's the great thing about athletics is even once you get to college, you still have somebody holding you accountable. You know, a normal student walking into the doors, they may skip class every Friday, and that professor is not going to say anything to them. You know, you skip a class on Friday, your coach going to get an alert,
Yeah.
and he on you. So
You
it's
at-
always good to have that accountability, even once you start getting older,
Yeah.
because you know it's life. You know, you get to a point where it's like, man, I'm tired. I can just sleep in, but then you know your coach gonna be on your butt, so you're like, let me go ahead and get up
Yeah.
and get to the class.
Yeah.
So that's good. You know, they have a medical school. What type of medicine do you want to go into?
I'm not like 100% sure right now, but I think orthopedics would be cool working with athletes.
Okay.
That's kind of where I'm leaning.
So you want to do like surgeries, or do you want to do more like physical therapy?
I like to do surgery. Yeah.
Surgery's nice. Okay. All right. So tell me a little bit more. So if you had to talk to a group of students, a group of freshmen, you know, they're just beginning high school, their eyes are wide open, they think they got forever to go. You know, so they're kind of on the fence as far as how hard they want to put in work. What would you tell that group of students?
These like athletes are just like any.
Yeah. Well, you know, athletes first, and then if the message is different, then we'll talk to the non-athlete.
For athletes, my biggest thing that like hindered me was my 40, and so if I could go back, I would start doing track like
Early.
as early as possible. Cause I mean now like you see linemen even running these crazy times. Coaches is looking for these crazy times.
Yeah.
So I would definitely say like run track as early as you can and get those times down. 40 was straight, but like I was just going out there for fun doing track, and so I was running 100, and I ran like an 11.5, and so like I know I'm faster than that on the field, but like in track it's foreign to like you have to have
it's different.
like it's track speed different, and so I would say run track and like stick to it, and then I'd say academics is big. You can't go anywhere, so I'd say it's literally student athlete. You gotta put your grades first. And like just the peace you have behind knowing if you get injured or something crazy happens, I can fall back on because I have this. And so I would say those two things are big. Of course, have a good work ethic. Everybody wants to go to the next level. Everybody wants to be D1 or just next level in general. JUCO, anywhere is a blessing, any opportunity. And so you gotta work for it. You gotta really want it. It gotta be something that's a part of your debit. So those are the three things I'd say for athletes.
So if they're not an athlete, what would you say? Because I mean, you know, non-athletics, it means they still may want to become doctors and lawyers and things like that. So what would you say to them, you know, as a freshman just starting high school?
This is for athletes as well, but I mean, keep God first. You gotta keep God first, and let everything you do flow through Him, flow from Him. I'd say like for me, if I could go back from the academic side, I would try to figure out what I want to do earlier, because it can really like build your schedule and the classes you take around that. For me, I wasn't able to apply to like some early medical school like programs because I had to have a certain score on my math ACT, and like I didn't even know that. Like if I would have focused on my math ACT, so, like just stuff like that. Like kind of have goals and then like far goals, and then you can start doing the things now to like work towards those goals. I'd say like connections are big. Like it's high school, just try to have fun, meet people, of course build your relationship with your family, take connections.
That's really good advice. I'm thinking about myself. I know you saw me post on Snap yesterday. You know, myself, like if I go back to freshman year, how much would be different now? But knowing what I know now, how much I would have done differently, and not even from the aspect because I know people when they look at it, they're like, well, maybe we're not supposed to have fun, because we gotta be so focused on this and so focused on that. You still want to have fun. You still want to make those connections because even when you get to college, you're gonna have to be a well-rounded person in order to contribute to the team on and off the field. Nobody wants to be around somebody that's always so serious. But you want to also, like you said, you want to know certain things. You want to know that, hey, I need to make a certain score on my math, and if I want to do this, or if I don't know what I want to do, I need to make good scores in every section because I need to be able to go wherever I want to go. And you don't really think about that stuff as a freshman because you have so much longer left to go. You know what I'm saying? You're just getting out of middle school. I got 4 years of school left. I'm
Exactly.
not worried about that. I'll worry about that when I become a senior. But as a senior, it's do or die. You
That's
know, so I think everybody starts to panic as a senior. They're like, where am I going to go? What am I going to do? And if you just build those milestones each year, you know, you set goals every year, and academically, you just stay on top. You know, you don't have to worry if you're on top of it academically. So I think that's really good advice, you know, for kids to have fun, but also be strategic. You know what I'm saying? To
exactly.
know I have to watch out for myself because, like you see now, your group of friends, as good as they are, y'all aren't going the same place.
Yeah.
You know, so what you do doesn't affect Miles. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Yeah.
if I decides he wants to go out and do something reckless, Miles doesn't have to pull his scholarship, and vice versa. If Miles decides, you know what, I don't want to go to school anymore, that doesn't mean Ty loses his scholarship. So you have to set yourself up individually and then know to have the right people around you that understand like, hey, sometimes we can't be together, we can't hang out, but sometimes we can. So it's really good advice, really sound advice. You know, I think that's a very mature way of thinking, and I'm sure that comes in retrospect. I'm pretty sure, like you said, if you could do some stuff over, you
Yeah.
probably would have did something different. But you know, that's part of life, though, and that's why I do stuff like this because kids like you who do make it to the other side, it's important to know like you didn't always have this lined up. You know,
Yeah.
you look at a kid like you, or you look at the Caleb Popes of the world, and you're like, well, dang, they just got everything handed to them, or oh, dang, they were always going to be D1.
Yeah.
But there's a work and there's a sacrifice that people don't notice. You know, they don't see. You know, we look like you said, the Vertimat sessions. Y'all's group came, there was nobody else there. You know,
Exactly.
it's not a packed out session. There's not 15 kids in there. You know, I'm lucky to have 4 people that week outside of y'all. You know, so that shows you that dedication like that isn't normal. You know, and that's not something that your parents can make you do once you get to a certain age. You know, it's either you want it or you don't. So how do your parents feel? I know they are definitely proud. How is it feeling now that you know we're 2 weeks out? You know, is it kind of sinking in that you're about to be out of the house?
You can kind of tell they acting a little different, like a little
Yeah.
nice. Um, but I think they're happy that. I mean, I think they're happy that I'm going to Mercer instead of Air Force. Yeah, you can tell. I think like it'll really set in like once we're driving down there, and then it'll be hard on my sister because you know we're real close. But I'll be coming back to visit and stuff. And I get the 4th of July week off, so I'll be
Okay.
cool.
Take advantage of your breaks, because you won't get many. You know, as
Yeah,
an athlete, you won't get many. Take advantage of them. Like I said, yeah, it's gonna sink in. Now on the ride up there, on the ride up there, it's gonna be excitement. But once you unpack that car and you got your dorm set up, it's gonna hit everybody. You know,
yeah,
that's a real feeling to know that hey, tomorrow when I wake up, I'm gonna be here.
yeah,
You know, and everything changes. But for you, again, and to all the athletes out there, this is why it's important to really go hard and set yourself up because when you wake up that next morning, you have a team that you're going to meet, you have coaches that you're going to see, you have a built in family that's already there for you. You know, as a normal, everyday student, you wake up that next day, you have to figure out where you're going to belong. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Like, who
yeah.
do I hang with? Do I
Yeah.
join a club? You know, am I gonna like my roommate? You know, are we gonna have similar interests? Athletics and even like clubs and stuff like that. If you can get into different clubs in high school and then you can join those same clubs when you get to college, it kind of gives you a friend group already set up if you don't have anybody coming with you.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, I think that's going to work out for you. So, anything else that you want to say to any athletes, especially the ones, I think, importantly, I think the ones that are like in their junior year, going into their senior year right now, like those guys who haven't been recruited yet, like what would you say to them?
Like I said, keep God first and just, I mean, go out there and like if you prepare, then you shouldn't be nervous. I mean, I know I was nervous for every game, but like whatever is meant to happen will happen. Go out there, have fun, show what you can do, and just let God handle the rest. I know sometimes it can be real stressful, but at the end of the day, what's meant to happen will happen. So that's what I say.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. All right, Ty, what we're going to do now, we're going to play a game, man.
All
All
right.
right. So, I know you're smart, you're very intelligent. We're going to see how quick witted you are. All right. So your jersey number is 11. So I'm not gonna make you name 11 items in 11 seconds. That's a lot of things to name. So we're gonna split it. We're gonna go six. So I'll give you 11 seconds to name 6 items in the category that I give you. All
Okay.
right. So an example would be name 6 books that you've read.
Ah,
Okay, so that would be an example. So then I would count down from 11, and you have to name those 6 books. All
all
right.
right.
You want to try that one first?
Nah, we gotta do it.
All right. So here we go.
I need a box of
Hold on, bro. Give it a second. It's your little homeboy right there. All right. So in 11 seconds, name me 6 models of cars.
Honda, Toyota, BMW, Mercedes, GMC,
5, 4, 3, 2.
BMW.
BMW. Time's up. Who's helping you? You got somebody helping you?
Nah, I don't, for real. Nobody's here.
Who's
Dang.
that? 5?
Yeah, I said Toyota, GNC, Mercedes, BMW. I said one more.
You said Honda.
Yeah, I said Honda. Dang.
So 6. You need a 6th one.
Camry?
Who?
Camry?
That's Toyota. Well, I did say model. I didn't say make. So technically it'd be Camry, Accord. So I mean, it's all right. You're back. All right. So you didn't get that one. All right. So in 11 seconds, name. All right. Who's your favorite football team?
College.
College. In 11 seconds, name 6 Auburn players that are in the NFL. Go.
Like, that was before? Like, it can be anytime?
Anytime.
All right, Cam Newton, Bo Jackson, Steen White,
6, 5,
Asante, Tank
4,
Bigsby,
3, 2, and
Keandre Lambert. That's it.
all right. 11 seconds. Name 6 players from your area. So it could be Madison, Huntsville, Harvest, any of those areas. Name 6 players that are playing D1 athletics in any sport.
Okay, Simon, Caleb, AJ, Bryson,
5, 4, 3,
Caden,
2.
and Jeremiah Daniels. I mean, Jeremiah Buckhorn, dude.
Wilson.
Yeah, that's 6, ain't it? But
You didn't even name yourself.
I thought, like, besides me.
Always toot your own horn, man. Be proud.
Yeah.
All right, last one. See if I can give you a good one. In 11 seconds, okay. In 11 seconds, name 6 spices or seasonings that you cook with in the kitchen. Go.
Pepper, salt, paprika,
8.
hot sauce.
That's not a seasoning.
Hot sauce is a seasoning.
5.
Sugar.
Sugar's not
Hot honey.
Sugar's not a seasoning.
I mean, it kind of is. Like, you know how Wingstop put the sugar like on their fries and stuff?
Sugar is sugar. Sugar is sugar. Sugar's not a seasoning.
But think about it, like, you can top it, like, you can put, like, some cinnamon on top of, like...
Cinnamon is a
like, brown sugar? Sugar? That's not a seasoning?
It's not a... No. But I give it to you because you're not the first person to say that. I just did one with Chase Bell, and he literally said sugar as well. Like, y'all are content that sugar is a...
To me.
All right. All right, so what else do you have planned, man? Like, so you leaving in 2 weeks. Y'all go down there for OTAs and stuff like that. Do you take summer classes this summer, or are you waiting until fall?
I think I will take a class this summer.
So what else do you have planned? What are you looking forward to the most as far as off the field? Like, are you excited about anything specific?
So, like, right before I go, I'm going down to the beach, like, for 3 days. So that'll be yeah.
Excited for that?
Yeah.
Hey, man, I just want to let you know, man, I'm proud of you. You know, it's been fun, you know, to watch you, you know, as long as I've known you, to kind of grow as a player, as a young man. I will be at a game. You're going to be in Georgia, so I'm excited about that. I'm in Georgia now, so I'll definitely get to come and see you play. Hopefully, I'll get to work with you again on Vertimax at least once.
Sure.
But keep doing what you're doing. Go as far as you can. You will be a doctor in the future, but I also think you have a future in football if you choose to take it. So go as far as you can go, man.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate you coming on with me.
For sure. Thank you for having me.